How many guesses do you need to figure out what a major component of this upcoming video is about? I think only one, and that's feminism. Of course, there's feminists involved in this story. But before I get into it, I want to talk about YouTube de-verifying a ton of people today. Just really quickly, this is something that was easy to see coming. They've been doing this ever since the adpocalypse that took place a couple of years back. It's not like the establishment knows of YouTube, and they are at it now because they know that it's replaced television as a source of entertainment, as a major source of entertainment for a lot of people. So they're about the business of sanitizing, Disneyfying, and doing all and getting rid of the edgier content, which is why I can't suggest enough to go over to the BitChute channel. It's Jay the Gent. It's the same thing over on BitChute, Jay the Gent, and give me a sub there, as well as a ton of other content creators who have been slowly but surely matriculating over to that platform, because YouTube is just, it's on its way down. So that's it for that. Let's get into this video right here, because it actually encompasses a lot of things that I want to break down, and it's about the ladies over in the UK. Once again, great warning for America. I'm telling you, the UK, Australia, other places in the West, yeah, y'all give us fantastic ideas as to what to look for when we get too balls deep into any specific ideology. And when it comes to feminism, this ideology is the snake that eats its own tail, man. Because what they've been doing all across the pond is going after sex workers. And I take issue with sex workers as just a general term. It's like the same intersectionality of other stuff, but we can get into that a little bit later. This is from a show called Uncovered in the UK, and let's rock with it.
Sex workers are uniting. Women from across the UK are fighting to defend the sex industry.
My goodness. Yeah, they're all feminist. They're all empowered now, aren't they? But, you definitely see a couple of 35%ers throughout the course of this video, which is another reason why I wanted to do it, because I haven't really been on the 35% grind lately. A lot of the stories haven't particularly had the most, enticing of bodies in it. But yeah, they're on they're striking, and they're protesting, and they're standing up for their body, their choices. Have fun, ladies. Let's keep going.
They're taking to the streets, unionising and forming collectives to make their working lives safer and better.
We're so empowered. We own it.
But they face opposition.
We're so empowered. Yes, because when it comes to women, I don't know, what is it, guys? Why is it everything that involves your empowerment has to involve your vagina? I'm just curious. And they're unionizing. My goodness. I think that's a big difference between men and women, is that, when a man decides a career, he kind of knows the position that he took, you know the business that you chose. It is what it is. But these ladies, they're like, oh no, my body, my choice. How dare they go to shame us? But here's the fun part. The fun part's coming up. I'll tell you when we get to it.
From feminist groups who want the industry shut down for good.
It is not.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it was right there. Yeah, the feminists are the ones that want the industry shut down because, oh, no. Your choice, it's only your choice if it's a choice that I agree with. Rules for thee and none for me. Or in a slight way in the reverse. But let's hear what this lady has to say.
Okay to sexualise and objectify women in this way.
As strip clubs close across the UK, online sex workers say they're under pressure too.
Of course they're under pressure, because they're, oh my God. You know what? This is sad. This just breaks my heart, because she has the potential to be insanely attractive, but she did all this to herself. Yikes. I mean, that is just nothing but bad choices and child support that we're looking at right here. If, she's straight. But either ways, everybody will sit there and say, particularly when you have such a vague term, because when they say sex workers, They're talking about literally all of them. From the web girls who don't touch anybody and do things from the comfort of their home to that $3 prostitute on a corner in Irvington that, shoot, you could probably talk down to $1.50. Like, they are encompassing all of them. And that right there is a recipe for disaster. And not to mention that this is largely females like pushing this, like, guys, yikes.
A lot worse things on the internet than me in my underwear.
They say it's about being heard, about
Cake E. Cake E. And she's right. That's the thing. I personally, as a man, your opposition has never been men, ladies. It has never been. It honestly never will be. Because we love your liberation. We love you out. Oh, yeah. For real? Okay, cool. Yeah. You mean to tell me that you feel better about yourself by letting me stroke the hell out of you? Well, by all means, I will happily empower you.
choosing what they do, about the right to be a sex worker. This protest was organised by sex workers and their supporters. It's happening a few hours north of London in Sheffield. The protesters say it's become the key battleground in the fight to be a sex worker.
Yeah, of course, those who, they need their money. They need their cash. Personally, I don't see why you wouldn't be online and just having some, how much money these the girls on Twitch make? I mean, why not? Shoot, flood them. I mean, the market's already flooded. When porn is free, something is wrong and weird, okay? You're kind of just like a dime a dozen at this point, and it's really gone overboard. And the popularity of one's own, of one's own reservation and one's own discernment when it comes to intimacy is just at an all-time low. Like, for real. And you see those guys just like, oh, we're going to check this one out. Yeah. You know what's going, oh, yeah, you want to protest, sweetie? By all means, protest. Take your shirt. Have fun. We're like, because they're guys. We're guys. That's just, it's like, word, this is how you choose to protest. You want empowerment? And by all means, if playing with yourself in front of me gives you empowerment, I'm not going to stop you. Okay? So this it's so funny. It really is.
They're campaigning to stop the city's only remaining strip club from closing.
So we're now walking through the centre of Sheffield, and all around there's people watching the protest.
I hope you noticed that. I hope you notice how conservatively she's dressed. She's like, yeah, I'm not one of them, bro. Yeah, Anna right there. Can I go back a couple seconds? See, she's completely dressed. I'm here on as a professional. That's what she's on. Anja Pop.
Of Sheffield, and all around there's people watching the protest, wondering what the hell's going on, really.
They're not just fighting to save the strip club. It's also about challenging negative views of women who strip and why they choose to do it.
So here's the thing. There's a difference between stripping, just purely twerking, and other forms of sex work. Is it a slope? Is it a slippery slope? Very much so. But at the same time, like me personally, I don't like strip clubs. I really don't. But I do respect their right to exist, And I've also spent some time in them. And I gotta say, the art of pole dancing, pole dancing is an art. There is artistry to pole dancing. I've seen it. I've been like, wow, blown away. Like she really put on a show. My goodness, I want to give her money because that was pretty damn good. All right, so I ain't no prude by any stretch of the imagination, but when you sit there and you say the sex industry, you're wrapping that artistry up with, ghetto gaggers, and that's not artistry. That is not artistry at all. No, that is brutal. But either way, That's just brutality. I don't even like watching. Like, oh, like, why are you hurting her? She seems okay. Well, what, she signed up for it, but why? But that's the thing. She signs up for it. It's her call. It's her call, and unfortunately, you can't, like, trying to control other people, or in trying to trying to make something illegal, or make something scarce. The more scarce something is, the more value there is to it, technically. But when we're talking about people, when we're talking about individuals, you just create a space for illicity, for an illicit market. Illicity. I don't think illicity is a word, but you create a space for a black market, for the underground. As opposed to allowing these ladies to make their money properly on books, which, trust me, most of it don't get to.
Hardworking, independent, strong, charismatic, sexy women.
We're fighting.
That's a whole lot of adjectives there, darling, and you're sitting there trying to describe all of them. And this is the difference between the male and the female brain. Because, like, I just think at an instinctual nature, man is more like every man for himself. We're far more savage. We accept each other as competition, whereas women, they tend to see each other as, oh yeah, we're the same thing, because we're physically weaker. Yes, you are, for very good reason, because shoot, the oven, you can't step on the floor when the cake is baking. Can you dig it? Like, you can't stomp around when the cake is baking, or the cake won't go flat. And that's one of the things we've been doing. We've been stomping around, and these cakes have been coming out flat. Have you talked to these children these days? My God.
To break the glass ceiling and end social stigma around sex work and stripping.
Because I have to care for my dad, and obviously I can't work during the day because that's when I need to care for him. So when I put him to bed at night, that's when I can come to work.
Movements like Me Too.
I can feel for that. I really can. Like I said, I'm not against, like keep the damn place open. Like, my goodness, see, like, they trying to shut down each and every one in the entirety of the UK. They want it all shut down, and it's like it's their feminists. Their feminists have gotten way out of bounds. And us here in the States, we really need to check this shit before it it's already just through and through, thorough and out. But it's just, like I said, just like with the sex workers, it's a very slippery slope.
I've started a discussion about women's bodies and harassment in the workplace, but some sex workers say they're being sidelined from that conversation.
There's been
Okay, so here's the deal, right? Particularly when you decide, yeah, I'm gonna make my living in the sex industry, but yet you're trying to maintain this standard, right? That, oh well, if I feel like I've been objectified or I'm harassed, like, you're in the sex industry. It's like, come on, man. Like, I'm just saying, it's like being a drug dealer that don't got no bail money, like, cover your main thing first, right? Like, accept that, hey, there are portions of this life, of this job, because in a lot of ways, when it comes to a lot of people, work is life. And so thus, actually with everybody, work is life, because it's that time that you're spending in that space with those people. It is life to an extent. So to sit there and be like, oh, well, I've chosen to enter this industry. I'm not talking about anybody who was trafficked or anybody that was pushed into it. I'm talking about those who willingly accept that, hey, yeah, this is how I'm going to be living my life. This is the way I prefer to go about my business. You guys, like, you can't do that. You can't trip like that, because once again, you're like, when your flesh is the product. People are like, yo, cats steal all the time, like, it is what it is. And I'm not saying forced entry or anything like, no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's okay. What I am saying, though, is just that we, like, when it comes to your body, your choice, I want to be able to make all these decisions for myself. These are the decisions you made. Remember that.
For a while now between some feminists and some of those working in the sex industry, and it's really pronounced here in Sheffield.
I went to meet Rachel. She lives in Sheffield, strips at the club, and is one of the leaders of the campaign to save it.
So these groups that are trying to kind of stop licences being granted, what would you say to them?
I would say, please.
Who is shooting this? And this is the dancer? Oh, her body got a knock, bruh. Her body got a knock. This is why the lights be so dim and low in strip clubs. This is why the lights be dim and low in strip clubs, because, hey, yo, yikes. But yeah, who is shooting this? I'm talking about who's shooting this this segment, this video, because like you doing Dutch angles, you trying to catch like all these different angles and shit, when really standard is fine. All right.
Put your time and efforts into somewhere or someone that really needs your help.
They'd argue that they are helping women, that there are some women that need help.
Yeah, definitely.
Why'd she look better at in the other one? That was crazy. When it first popped up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a second. But now I'm just like, oh no. Yeah, because you know what? That's a part of the reason why she doing all this shit, because she about to hit the wall. I mean, she's hit the wall clearly, but I'm talking about like, yo, she see her tips dropping. She see those numbers just falling off.
There are a ton of other things where they could help people. I'm making a life for myself, having the time of my life. Let us do our job and focus your energies on people that really need your help. There's this...
Man, this is like watching, like not Vince Carter still playing, because Vince Carter can still hoop. This is like watching like, an athlete who is way past their prime, but they made some bad investments and they need to keep making those NBA checks, man.
Assumption that strippers especially are forced into it. They're druggies, they're being objectified, they're demeaned, they're victims. We're so empowered. We're like a team of firefoxes.
Okay, do you believe her? I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's like you're about to sit there and start hitting with the metaphors, firefoxes, and we're such sexy bitches, like, okay, Austin Powers, I get it. Maybe you're coming along too strong. Yeah, like, those protesteth too much.
Strutting our stuff in our shoes. We own it. I'm proud of who I am. And if I have the confidence and the courage to use my body, then why should anybody have the right to take...
Confidence and courage, the skills and abilities. I don't know. I've never seen her dance. Maybe she's a fantastic dancer. Maybe she worked that pole like nobody else. And likely still can, But, like, for real? Like, as far as tips go, yeah, she ain't knocking the way she once did. I mean, back in the day, she was probably, like, top-notch, top on it. But, yeah, everybody feels their retirement coming, Like, you can't play the game. When you build your career off of, like, when it's youthful stuff, as opposed to, like, mental stuff, like, yo, yeah, you got a clock. So, hopefully you save, darling.
That choice away from me.
For people like Rachel, this is about the right to choose what you do for a living. But the feminist groups trying to shut the clubs don't believe stripping is a choice at all.
We're about to go and meet someone who the protesters and the dancers...
So what do we say, guys? Is she a 35%er? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I can't remember her name again, but either ways, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, you get 35%, because, like, she ain't got a terrible face. You don't see the body, but there's actually a plus, right? We're gonna let that rock in her favor.
Trying to appeal to, it's somebody on the other side of the debate that wants to close strip...
Dope eyes, though. Dope eyes.
...clubs for good.
The Women's Equality Party fights for women's rights in the UK and has set its sights on strip clubs. Charlotte Mead is the party rep in Sheffield.
Your party stands...
Your party is complete bullocks. Yeah, that's a good one. Bullocks. Your party is complete bullocks, because men and women aren't equal. Hello?
For empowering women. And some of the dancers we spoke to said that
That's exactly what stripping does for them. It empowers them, and you're going to take that away from them.
I appreciate that they say that they are choosing to do that at the moment, but also it's not just about them. It's about, as a society, what...
She hit the wall like quite a bit. Why she remind, ooh, that's who she remind me of. She remind me of Darcy from, what's the name of that show? Married with Children. It's a really old show. Check it out. Al Bundy is hilarious. But she reminds me of Darcy from Married with Children. She's putting out that, like, yeah, she likes what's between the ladies' thighs as much as I do.
We're saying about what we think is okay.
What would you say to the dancers that say it's my body, it's my choice? We can earn more in one day than we used to earn in a whole month when we were working a 9-to-5 job.
The route for women out of poverty is not for society to sexualise and objectify them. We need to look at the bigger picture and look at why there are not good jobs for women.
Why do me?
Whoa. Did you hear that? Did you hear this woman say there aren't good jobs for women? Oh my God. It's ridiculous. Yo, it's a cancer, man. It truly is a like, and it's not. How do I put it? After the battle's over, right? Let's say you got a goal. You reach your goal. What's left to do? What after that? You buy a house. What's next? Well, let's put an addition on the house or something like that, right? Like some people are just geared to want more and more and more and more. And that's what has essentially happened, with feminism and stuff like that. Because me personally, I want these ladies, whatever you want to do, I don't care. Like, I really don't. If you're not harming anybody else and everything's consensual, it's all adults in the room, it's good. It's cool. But like when it comes to laws, when it comes to, like our government and how the government's used, using government force, that's authoritarianism in many angles and many respects, as well as just like you're infringing on these ladies' rights because you feel that they are, but guess what, your feelings don't matter. No one's feelings matter. It's about what makes logical sense and how do we best accommodate everybody. So, Darcy, you are completely in the wrong on this.
You or anyone get to set the rules on what's okay.
We set rules as a society all the time. There may be some women who.
Okay, but see, that's the thing. When it comes to setting rules as societies, those things are called laws, right? Now, cultural isn't on paper. Cultural isn't written. Cultural is media. Cultural is, like your parents and upbringing and environments. That's what cultural is. And no one individual can control that.
Want to do that work and enjoy that work, but those will be the tiny percentage of women who are there. And the sex industry as a whole is full of women who do not have very many choices.
For dancers, the options of where to work are shrinking. In the last 10 years, strip clubs across the UK have been closing at a rapid pace. Experts estimate there were around 350 in England and Wales a decade ago. Now there's only thought to be around 150. Closures started after local governments were given new powers to control the clubs in 2009.
Boom. And but like once you give the government freedom or right, good luck getting it back. Big part of the reason why I want cannabis to hit the ballot as opposed to having the state legislature pass something. I'd much rather hit the ballot, and there a lot more freedom is attached with the constitutional amendment as opposed to allowing government and their investments to control an entire market.
Those rules meant a club needed a special license to operate, which has to be renewed every year.
Give me money. That's yeah. Yo, the way the taxes is just real. This is a tax. Make no mistake, revenue. Like, yeah, nah, yo, this is definitely a tax for the state. Yeah, Lee. Then you wonder why people are get fed up and get angry. Trust me, this has been going on all over the place.
This has put pressure on dancers, but it also means some have started working together, like in this strippers collective in East London. It's a grassroots organisation supporting dancers to find different ways to earn.
Why do all of these dancers look old as hell? I'm just saying. Like, I mean, she bad. She alright. She 30%. But, I mean, she alright.
Money. They organise a life drawing class. Today's session is run by founding member Cheeky.
I love what I do, and my idea will be to improve the working conditions of what we have, not to completely shut it down, because a lot of work and a lot of employment depends on it. For me, being a feminist is to support women no matter what. So if
you heard it right, no matter what, no matter, and that is your Achilles heel, ladies. Yeah, the fact that y'all refuse to check yourselves and refuse to check each other, that will forever be your Achilles heel. Alright? It's just like, and here's the thing. Because as a collective, it's not like that men are better or anything else like that. No, not at all. We have our own problems. But the deal is that in order to get things done, in order to get to approach things and maintain credibility, you gotta be willing to call out, and put a kibosh on nonsense. And unfortunately, that it's you guys just, as like on average, you guys just ain't got it like that, like my ex, her kid would always take 3 asks for the kid to get whatever it wanted. The kid would go, hey, can I have some McDonald's? No. Can I have some McDonald's? No. Can I have some McDonald's? Oh my God, yes, Jesus. And it was that easy to break her. You see what I'm saying? And I know it's anecdotal, but it really is a part of the innate differences between us.
for whatever reason that life put you in this path to make your money, then you'll have your reasons. And it's about not judging, because life is tough as it is. Like, who am I to judge you, and who are you to judge me? Like, we all have very different paths in life.
In 2008.
Yeah, true, but like like I said, once again, like in 2009 is when your problem really started, and you guys should have had an eyeball on it. You guys should have knocked out, but now here you are, where they're just slowly and methodically just knocking each and every one out, which is a damn shame, because I'm not going to pay for these women. So I don't want to pay for you. No, go make that money. Shoot, I am intimately familiar with outlaw lifestyle. I've spent plenty of time around ladies of the night. I can assure you that have fun. They're sitting there trying to be like, oh, this is some fragile little delicate 9 times out of 10, nah, bro. Nah, not even. So, shoot, handle your business, do whatever it is that you do, just leave me the hell out of it.
United Voices of the World set up a trade union branch for sex workers, currently the only one in the UK. It provides support and protection for its members in what can be a precarious job and a dangerous industry. Samantha used.
You know what? I want to point out a little artistry too, because you had the fellas out there with their art. That's a real innovative way. I mean, by all means, Darlin's getting it. So salute to her. I'm not bashing females. Like, oh my goodness, he doesn't agree with me. Bashing. No, it's not bashing. It's just reality is what reality is. We all gotta adapt and adjust. And sitting here under the moniker of feminism and seeing how, the main people, because as a man, I can tell you, the people who trip on y'all the most is other females. The people who always spazzed on y'all, who was sitting there doing the slut shaming and everything else like that, is rarely dudes, because shoot, we got other shit to worry about.
Stripping clubs and pubs as a student. She wishes there'd been a union to help protect dancers from trouble at work when she was stripping.
Had I had a union on my side when one of the bouncers at the club was harassing the girls, me included, I wouldn't have waited so long to say something. If nothing else.
But that's the thing. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, because like you can sit there and check through management regardless, right? I'm just saying. But she alright. She alright. She's not terrible.
People involved in the girls who have far more financial and legal literacy in order to protect themselves at work. And even if the clubs don't change how they behave, the girls can at least bring the power of a union behind them if they're being mistreated.
It's not just on the high street that sex workers feel their livelihoods are being threatened in the UK. Many are feeling the pressure online too. These members of the Sex Workers Union are protesting outside the Instagram HQ in London. They accuse Instagram of deactivating their accounts and discriminating against them because of their work.
Oh, and then you got okay, so and you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, so you had the dancers, the strippers over like, you know, like the two ladies, and even a young girl in the glasses, when I would have, you know, and like outside of work, it's in there presenting their arguments and everything else like that. And here you got those from the internet. Like those who do real world sex work, and then you got, like, you know, like the internet squad. Let's see what the internet B team has to say.
We're being deactivated for things that celebrities routinely post and get away.
Rebecca Crow. Oh, yikes. Jeez. And that's the other thing. The real life strippers, they didn't have, like, they wasn't all inked up like this and everything else. I mean, the internet's just a weird place, man.
With. So the double standard is seriously unfair. Start discriminating against people because of their work and because what they do. My work is no different.
She ain't gonna be so dope without it. Nah, I'm sorry. Like, it's just no percentage points, man. I can't give it to him.
Yours is no different to anyone's. The female body is not offensive in the slightest.
An Instagram spokesperson told us,
You would really love for somebody to think that, but nobody on this planet does. Everybody likes the female body. We prefer if you just take care of it. And, like, I mean, everybody has their preferences, you know, like, for how they like things to be seen. And, you know, thanks to the power of the internet, you guys have been able to find your groove and find your audiences. So, you know, go make a website or something, right?
their staff review millions of pictures every week. They said nudity or sexual solicitation isn't allowed on Instagram, and that they aim to be sensitive to what's appropriate for their wider community, particularly younger users. The women outside Instagram and the women on the...
And the thing is, Facebook owns Instagram, right? So, I mean, and they're, like, Facebook is getting SEC'd and, what is the other term that's not coming? Like, they're under investigation. They're under, like, I think SEC investigations. So, yeah, everybody's trying to clean up their act, and it actually does tie. Wow, see, that's crazy. It actually ends up tying into the whole YouTube thing, because everyone's trying to clean up their act now, particularly with daddy government over their shoulders. They got to make sure that, particularly the kids, you know, they always wrap it back around to, oh man, we got to protect the children. We got to protect the children. Parents need to protect their children, but you know, the parents are always looking for somebody to blame shit on. Like, look, just don't get your kid damn phone, all right, or monitor it. You know, keep an eye on it. Dude, I don't know. I don't know you and your kid. I don't know how you raised them. Like, that's the thing. I don't know if you raised them. I don't know. Maybe YouTube did raise your kid. Maybe the television did raise your kid. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't tell parents how to parent, because it's just there's just too many damn variables. But I do believe that, you know, placing our communities and going back to giving a shit about the nuclear family, I don't know, I think that would quell a lot of the problems that we got going on right now. I mean, just it's the only damn way. At least in my, at least as far as I can think of. If you can think of a better way, that's what my comment section is always for.
Streets in Sheffield say this is a fight for acceptance. They're tired of being marginalised, want to defend their livelihoods and improve the industry from within. But the question is, does the rest of society want that as well?
Thank you very much,
Well, I guess that is a pretty good question, but deal is that they have a legitimate grievance here because they are clearly being targeted. You know, let's keep it okay. Yeah, that's probably the dopest one in the entire video. So deal is that they do have a legitimate grievance because you see where they've been targeted and how how that industry's been used as a state, to basically fund the state. And it's not much different when it comes to almost any industry. And this is something that takes place all over the world. And it's a municipal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it could be your county, it could be your your town or your city or whatever. But that's the crux of it, is that the elected officials and the government sits there and they'll see an industry. Oh, well, how can we make money off of this industry? And then create a means in which to do such. Like, if I want to use Jersey as an example, right? You got security guards. The hell does a security guard really need to do other than call 911? Like keep an eye out on things and call 911. That's your main position. But what they did was, what the state of New Jersey did was, like, now in order to be a security guard, you have to take like this long training course and stuff like that, and you have to have state licenses and all these other things. I mean, Jersey, you have to have licenses for everything. You have to have a license to fart, man. I'm not kidding. And by creating that, that tax, because that's what it really is, that by creating that tax, they sit there and they just destroy industry, and they destroy, regular folks just going about their lives, going about their business. So in that respect, I'll completely stand with the ladies here, and I feel like they have a legitimate grievance. Because it just, like this, like the governments and like the authorities, quote unquote, they have gotten out of hand. They really have. That's why YouTube is running scared. That's why Facebook is running scared, and Instagram and all these other places, because the government is hawking down on them. I'm actually really impressed with myself. I was able to make all that come back to the whole start. So the beginning of this video really wasn't when I talked about YouTube de-verifying people. It really wasn't a what's the name, the establishment. The establishment's coming for us all, guys. It always does. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, yeah, go ahead, do that too. I'm not scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube admits you to like. Weirdly enough, I still do better on YouTube than I do on BitChute. So who the fuck it? And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments, man? I mean, like, regardless of if I like what you have to do, and I'm just speaking for me here, regardless if I like what you do or not, you have the right to do it. I'll defend your right to do it. But maybe you see it differently, and maybe you got a little argument for me. I'd love to hear it in the comments. So with that said, until the next one.